drawn from relevant ministries, departments and agencies, as well as state representatives. Oyo State House of Assembly has called for the immediate strengthening of security across public and private educational schools and institutions in the state, following the recent abduction of students and teachers at Community High School, Esiele, and LA Primary School, Yawota, in Orire local government area. The resolution followed a motion moved by the lawmaker representing Ibadan Southwest State Constituency 2, Mr. Oluwafemi Oluwafowokanmi, who urged the executive arm of government to deploy operatives of the Western Nigeria Security Network, codenamed Amotekun Corps, the Nigeria Police Force, and other security agencies to schools across the state. Mr. Oluwafowokanmi noted that public schools are increasingly becoming vulnerable targets for criminal activities, including kidnapping, vandalism, cult-related violence, and other forms of insecurity. The lawmaker further argued that the deployment of trained security personnel to schools, particularly those located in rural communities and areas bordering forests, would strengthen surveillance, improve intelligence gathering, and guarantee rapid response to security threats. The first batch of Nigerian nationals to be evacuated from South Africa is expected to arrive in Lagos State tomorrow. According to the updates provided by the spokesperson, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Kimiebi Ebienfa, a plane will depart the Oliver Tambo International Airport in Johannesburg today with 268 people. Mr. Ebienfa said the federal government has fully funded the evacuation exercise, as all affected Nigerians would be repatriated at no cost to them. He assured Nigerians that the federal government, through relevant ministries, departments and agencies, is putting in place necessary reception and support arrangements for the would-be returnees. You're on to the news at 11 on Radio Nigeria's Premier 93.5 FM, Ibadan. Stay with us. Thank you for being there. The news continues. This day in 1993, Justice Basi Ikpeme of Abuja High Court ruled that June 12 presidential election should not hold. And we move to the foreign scenes. No fewer than 12 people have been killed in a mass shooting in an area of Johannesburg, South Africa. According to the police, another 9 people were injured in the attack at an informal settlement in Cleveland, and a manhunt for suspects is underway. The police said the suspects allegedly entered the informal settlement through both entrances and moved through the area, opening fire on residents and community members at multiple locations before fleeing the scene in the same vehicle. According to reports, South Africa has one of the highest murder rates in the world, with around 60 people killed per day. The United States says it has carried out a series of strikes on Iranian military and surveillance sites in response to the downing of an American helicopter in the Gulf. U.S. Military Central Command said air defense systems, ground control stations, and radar sites were targeted near the Strait of Hormuz. However, in response, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, said it launched strikes on 21 targets at U.S. bases in the region, one in Bahrain and the other in Jordan. Say no to drugs, say yes to life. In today's Heart of the Matter, Funmilola Obagbayegun of our Current Affairs Unit writes on checking the menace of drug abuse.
Drug abuse has become one of the most pressing social and public health challenges confronting Nigeria. The increasing rate at which young people and adults engage in this misuse of illicit substances poses a serious threat to the nation's health, security, and economic development. The widespread availability of narcotics and other harmful substances has contributed to rising cases of addiction, mental health disorders, criminal activities, and social instability. Reports from relevant authorities indicate that millions of Nigerians abuse drugs, with cannabis remaining the most commonly used illicit substance. The situation is particularly worrisome among young people, many of whom are introduced to drugs through peer pressure, curiosity, unemployment, or the desire to escape difficult economic and social realities. Drug abuse destroys lives, weakens families, fuels crime, and reduces productivity. Young people who fall into addiction often struggle academically, lose career opportunities, and face long-term physical and psychological health challenges. In many cases, drug abuse has been linked to violent crimes, cultism, kidnapping, and other forms of crimes. Addressing this growing menace requires a comprehensive and coordinated approach by government and its relevant agencies. Law enforcement agencies must intensify efforts to curb the production, trafficking, and distribution of illicit drugs, while drug cartels and criminal networks involved in the trade must be identified, prosecuted, and brought to justice. However, enforcement alone cannot solve the problem. Prevention remains the most effective strategy. Schools should strengthen drug education programs and create awareness about the dangers of substance abuse. Parents, on their part, must maintain close relationship with their children, monitor their activities, and provide guidance capable of helping them resist negative influences. Communities, religious organizations, and civil society groups also have important roles to play in educating young people and promoting healthy lifestyles, while public enlightenment campaigns should be sustained to ensure that citizens understand the risk associated with drug abuse. Furthermore, addiction should be treated as a health condition rather than a moral failing. Government at all levels must invest in rehabilitation and counseling centers to provide support for individuals battling substance dependence. Removing the stigma associated with seeking treatment will encourage more people to access professional help and begin the journey to recovery. Ultimately, the fight against drug abuse is a shared responsibility. Government, families, schools, community, leaders, and individuals must work together to protect society from the devastating effect of substance abuse. By investing in prevention, strengthening law enforcement, and supporting rehabilitation efforts, Nigeria can effectively check the rising menace of drug abuse and secure a healthier and more productive future for generations to come.
That script on checking the menace of drug abuse was written by Funmilola Obagbayegun of our current affairs unit and read by Dayo Adenuga. To enter news at 11 and Radio Nigeria's Premier 93.5 FM Ibadan. Another look at the major items. President Bola Tinubu has said his administration remained focused on delivering tangible benefits to Nigerians through the Renewed Hope agenda. The first batch of Nigerian nationals to be evacuated from South Africa is expected to arrive in Lagos State tomorrow. From the foreign scenes were reported that no fewer than 12 people have been killed in a mass shooting in an area of Johannesburg, South Africa. For information, call us on these numbers 0802 334 5294 and 0803 242 9552. Numbers again are 0802 334 5294 and 0803 242 9552. Or visit us at number 617 Jibo Crescent, Iyakoku Quarters, or Badabingpe Road, Old Baggy, Dugbe, Ibadan. You can as well track us on www.radionigeriaibadan.gov.ng, X, Instagram, and Facebook at PFM935 Ibadan. That ends news at 11 on Premier 93.5 FM Ibadan from the stable of Radio Nigeria. It was edited by Oluwakayode Banjo. I am